The traditional American dream is to build your life in America or make it in America. But I think there's a smarter way. I think it's a way that you can work and save in America and take that money to a different country, a different economy where your money will go 3 times further. And that's exactly what me and my family are doing. And I want to discuss in this video how maybe you and your family can do the same thing. And welcome back to my channel. Hello to my YouTube family. Thank you so much for joining in. So on this video, I want to talk about geo-arbitrage, right? And essentially that means making money in a stronger currency and then bringing it to an economy with maybe a weaker economy where your money goes further. And a lot of the diaspora is very familiar with this concept already. An example of this is making money in, let's say, America and then building a home in Jamaica where your dollar can stretch further. And in this video, I really want to talk with you guys and just get some understanding of how you can use this concept. And I was driving earlier with my husband Jerome, and we were just chatting, and we had a conversation about, we think it's best when people from Jamaica or just any country leave their country, go to another country, work, and then use that money where they work to then take it back to Jamaica, right? And we were like, it seems when you leave Jamaica and you come to America and you decide you're going to work and live, that's where you get sucked up into the endless hamster wheel rat race of America, Canada, UK, wherever you are. So it seems like when you're a temporary worker and you just come to work, hustle, 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 and then send the money back, you go a lot further. And so we were just talking about him, like, for example, when my husband was in college, you know, like 10 years ago, he used to come to America on a J1 program, which is like, you know, you work for the summer and then you go back. And he was like, when he used to do that, he would be able to save thousands of dollars when you're not even paying rent. You know, you're just living with a bunch of people. You guys are cooking, you know, you're not really spending a lot of money. You're just packing your stuff. Maybe you bought some clothes and you're taking it back. And he said when he was on the work and travel program, he was able to pay his college tuition. He was able to buy cows. He was able to get land, you know, all of this in a short period of time because he was making money in a stronger currency. We have another friend who came on the same J1 program and he was able to buy an Audi. We have another friend who came on the work and travel program and he bought cows, and now he has a cow farm with, like, I don't know, I think he said he has about 90 cows, and that was all what he was able to do from the work and travel program. One of our neighbors, actually, she went on a program. I think she went on the one where it's a little longer. Is it H2B? She went on the H2B program, and from that she was able to build a 2-story home, and now she has no mortgage, she has a car, and she's working a corporate job in Jamaica, but earning in the US dollars really helped her to be able to build her home. So I feel like it's just almost like a cheat code if you're able to work and travel and then go back home. But where it gets really tricky and expensive is when you get stuck into like the rat race, like I said. And let me know if you guys agree with me. Because for example, if you come here, right, and let's say maybe you have your permanent resident card. So you actually live now in America, you're working in America, where now you're subject to all of the American bills, because now you have to have your rent, your mortgage, whichever one you have a car payment most likely, you probably have credit cards, and even if you pay with everything cash, you still have a lot of bills. You have insurance, you have all these bills that come with living in America. And I've received many comments from people saying like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, because even Jamaica has a lot of bills. Guys, I understand that Jamaica has bills, right? But let's be honest. Jamaica does not have as many bills as America. You guys can look it up. America actually has more bills than a lot of other countries around the world, and it's a known fact because I looked it up. Anyway, when you come to America and you get stuck in living in America, you will start to accumulate a lot of bills. And it's not that you're going out and you're looking for these bills, but it just comes with the territory. It comes with living in America. America is a really capitalist society, and that it just is what it is, right? Even if you're living frugal, you're still going to accumulate bills. And sometimes for those who are not cognizant of this system of America, sometimes they start to accumulate a lot of debt. Because, for example, if you want to go to college, you can go to college, you can get a student loan, and they're going to give you such a large student loan pay that you're like, oh, I can live on this. Yeah, you probably can, but you're gonna have to pay it back. You can get a credit card if you want to. If you want to go out and buy a Benz in America on credit, trust me, you can, but you'd better look at that interest rate, right? So me and Jerome were just saying in the car, you know, it seems to make sense to just work here and travel. Let me know what you guys think, right? And the cost of living, again, in the US is much higher than the cost of living in Jamaica. Even childcare, for example. As you guys know, I do have twin toddlers, and just Google the price of how much daycare costs in America, right? And especially in the DC metro area where I live, Google the cost and do the math of how much childcare costs. When I looked in Jamaica at the cost of daycare in itself, it's like 1/6 of the price, right? For a good quality daycare, where I feel like it's almost better than what they're getting here in America. Rent is much cheaper. Most of the time, if you're working here and you're investing back in Jamaica, most of the time you're building your house, so you won't have a mortgage compared to what you would have here if you bought a house. And you guys know that you can't build a house in America in stages, right? So I feel like the cost of living here is much higher in Jamaica, but I do know certain things in Jamaica are more expensive, like the electricity, for example, but there are ways that you can offset that, such as getting solar panels, right? And so if you're making $60,000 a year in America, especially in a high cost of living area, you know that you are barely surviving. Like, you have to be really strategic on what you're spending money on, compared to if you were making that same $60,000 a year in Jamaica. You're living like your maddest life, right? You're living a great life because the cost of living is much lower, right? And the thing is, I know people are like, oh, well, it's easy for you to say as an American that you can make $60,000 a year. What I'm saying is, using the concept of geo-arbitrage, there are ways that you can take the money in America and move to Jamaica and have that income working for you. But you have to be strategic, right? I know many of my friends who used to come from Jamaica, and they would come to America, and when they were on the program or when we were in college, they were taking that money that they were making at their job and they were buying clothes and cars and shoes and, you know, going to parties. No, you have to be strategic, right? And there's many different ways that a person can earn income. Number one is you can do investments, right? I talk all the time about how me and Jerome are buying property in America. You know, we're getting properties that need a lot of work, fixing them up, renting them out, and we're going to use those properties to help sustain us as a form of income in Jamaica. That's one way that you can do it. Another way is you can open a business in America online, sell things on Amazon, sell things on Etsy, you know, have a business here that is supporting you in a different country. Another thing you can do is investments. You have a lot of people who are good at day trading or who understand how to buy stocks and sell them. You know, that's not something that I'm strong at. I'd have to have Jerome on here to talk about that. But you can earn dividend income, and you don't have to be in America to buy stocks, right? You have people who work online and who work for like call centers, or maybe they're consultants, and all they need is Wi-Fi, and these are, you know, digital nomads. So there's different ways that you can continuously earn US dollars while in Jamaica, or you can just work for a couple months and then go back home, and now you have those savings. I know a lot of you are retired, so you may get a pension and Social Security, you know, and some type of retirement income through your 401k, you know, so there's different ways. And I think part of it is a mindset shift as well, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, the American dream, the American dream. Well, it's really turned into like the American nightmare, in my opinion. If we look at the economy right now, and if we look at like just the geopolitical landscape, I don't feel like this is the American dream anymore, right? And I know many of you curse me and say like, oh, stay where you're at, or like Jamaica's full, you can't come. Like, I just kind of ignore those comments, because it's like, guys, open your eyes. Like, America's not the only place that you can live and make it in life, right? So that is really what I just wanted to come on here and say, is just talk about this whole concept of geo-arbitrage. And I want to hear what you guys think. Do you think it's plausible to make money in a developed nation and take that money and then live in Jamaica or any other country? Or do you think that what I'm talking about is total hogwash? Let me know what you guys think. Again, this is something that we're actively doing. We're trying not to get too caught up into like just the whole circle of America. We're not taking on any more consumer debt. I was going to get another master's degree. I've decided not to at this time, because I don't want to take on student loans. Like, we're actively trying to move. So let me know what you guys think about this. Let me know if you're doing this. Let me know how you're making money abroad to take home. I really want to hear from you guys. Like I said, even with us building our house in Manchester, that's a part of geo-arbitrage, because our mortgage here is for 30 years, right? But that property, that's a paid off property. That's a property that we're actively building in stages as we have the money. So for the next 30 years, we're not worried about paying a mortgage, right? And you see, this is the whole concept of how America gets you in that loop. So that's why we're like, okay, let's focus on getting property in America to rent, because the tenant is paying that back, not us per se, right? So I don't want to go to Jamaica now and take up this big mortgage where I'm paying that for 30, 35 years. So anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Please check out our Building Our Dream Home series on my YouTube page. We have plenty of videos there where we're showing like the behind the scenes of building that house and talking about, you know, the process from doing it overseas, finding contractors, getting supplies, and all of that good stuff. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video. And please, if you have any topics that you would like me to discuss, please comment them down below. Okay, have a good day, guys. Thank you for watching. Make sure to check out our Building Our Dream Home in Jamaica series.